Hi, I'm Brian Maddox, and welcome to another episode of the Consulting Trap. With me today is Halima Wanamaker from VEMTECH. Welcome, Halima.
Hi, Brian. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show. Can you do our listeners a favor and tell us a little bit about where you come from and how you started your business?
All right. Hi, my name is Halima. I'm with VEMTECH. I'm the owner. My business started about 6 years ago, but IT has been in my blood since I was 12. First machine, the tower, the huge tower, and, got my degree in MIS and been working in it professionally for about 18 years now. I started my business because I wanted to have the insight and control over my destiny. My work ethics and what I put into my business, I wanted it to be able to reflect, the efforts that I put in for myself and for my family. So that's how I started VEMTECH, just doing what I love to do, helping people with IT. I love people. I'm in both worlds. I'm like IT and a people person. So, my whole ammo is to help small businesses and to help people really utilize technology to help their businesses grow and streamline processes.
How did you get started? How did you get your first couple clients?
Well, actually, it was funny, I was working, and because, when you first start a business, either you step out on faith or you're working. And so when I was working, I was joining the Chamber of Commerce. I was networking. I was everywhere. I was really putting in the work. And I absolutely found the most fabulous physician. And she's like, I have, at this time she was using Office 365. I have Office 365. I have so many clients I have to manage. I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm like, okay, well, this is my chance. Let me present to you. And she was a very long-term client. And just from there, the momentum just built, word of mouth, getting out there, hustling, meeting people. And because at that time, as a startup, you really don't have capital to invest in your business, so you're utilizing all of the free available items, features, meetings, whatever you can find, networking meetings you can go to. And it was really just going out there and hustling and meeting people and telling about my product and telling about my company.
You make a transition from that, I guess, free, and we both know it's not free, right? It's just it's the sweat off of your brow.
True.
So
very true.
And that gets expensive quick. But in the beginning, you don't value that the same way. When did you make the jump from that kind of business development activity to something that maybe you've outsourced? And have you done that at all?
Yes, absolutely. So, being in business for 6 years, and look, making it through COVID, let's just keep it honest here. We actually were able to maintain through COVID and grow. So through that, I found, had a few techs here and there just consulting with me, but I felt myself stretched, and I felt myself becoming after COVID stagnant because, I had to maintain, and plus, not to mention, I had a baby. So right there, I'm maintaining, and I'm, not a maintaining type. I want to grow. So at that point, I felt like, okay, we're in a good position. Our clients are back. We're growing slowly, but I wanted to put a little bit more pedal to the metal. And I realized that I had to transition from being the founder, owner, CEO / tech to being more, even transitioning more into the CEO and understanding that I needed people that knew more than me in certain areas. So I decided that I sucked at sales. Okay. I realized it. I sucked at sales. Face to face were good, but the online stuff, that wasn't me. It's not my thing. So I hired and outsourced a contractor, And, she has been fabulous. She's been changing the game. And then I decided, okay, let's get one more on, and basically through my sales team, I decided that that was a great investment. Also the tools, currently I use HubSpot, my CRM. I love it. We're on Alignable. We're on LinkedIn. I have a social media marketer manager that I use. I mean, I have my website development guy. He takes care of all my SEO. So with all of those features and things in place and working together has allowed me not only to have a conversion with clients, but also just have a presence online. Because, anytime you have a business, the first thing someone is doing is Googling you. So I had to make sure that my presence online was unified, because you can have different tools, but if they're all doing something different and saying a different message, it's not a unification. I wanted the same message to go out all on the separate platforms.
That's that integration is an amazingly powerful thing once it starts working correctly. How did you, iterate through that process? As I'm sure you didn't get it right the first time, because very rarely does anyone get it right the first time. How did you get all those pieces together correctly?
It really started with me. I guess over the 6 years, from actually about two years ago, a year and a half ago, is when I decided to rebrand. So it really started there. I've already had my web, that kind of threw me into, I need to hire someone to assist me to grow. So I got to rebrand, hired someone to help me rebrand. They gave me the tools to be able to move forward. So they gave me the mapping for my new website. They gave me what my ideal customer was. They gave me the information on, even my fonts and, and they gave me the structure on how I can move forward with my business to rebrand and really streamline what I want to do and really attack what I want to do. That was my first investment, really looking at it and say, okay, this is the website that's been carrying me for like 4 years that I did, myself, and realizing if I wanted to stay competitive with my other constituents, then I need to actually, step it up. And every IT person isn't versed in every area of IT. So, I took myself as far as I could with my website design and realized that it's better to outsource. That started it. Once that started, the steam rolling down. And then after that, that's when I moved into, getting all the tools, checking out Alignable, buying the Sales Navigator, for LinkedIn, the CRM with HubSpot. That branding actually got me into doing the CRM, versus Excel spreadsheets and your Outlook, trying to keep track of who you contacted and that sort. So I would say the rebranding process is what really started me on this track.
And just to let you know, there's probably 1,000 folks that operate marketing firms right now celebrating at that answer. This is one of the things that a lot of folks don't quite understand early on. And the marketing teams, they get it. They, getting that value proposition and your brand aligned is absolutely vital. So how much did that process inform the services you deliver? What changed in the service delivery side of your business as a result of that branding effort?
Well, we went from, we looked at our industry and, starting out regular, break fix, you have an issue, give us a call or open a ticket and we fix it. We realized that we wanted to get into the more of the managed service provider space. So because we were doing it anyway, because we were doing the break fix and we had such long-term clients, and we still do. It was transitioning like, hey, can you order me a machine, or can you configure it, or can you put the apps on it? I don't know what I need to have on this. Can you monitor me? And I realized, okay, it's now time to transition. And with that, that's when we moved forward with realizing we need to get more into being versus reactive, being proactive, and becoming a managed solution provider allowed us the capability to do that.
How do you resist? I mean, there's an industry trend in IT, right? The whole commoditization of IT services and moving into the cloud and all that kind of stuff. How do you continue to add value in that space despite the essentially what seems to be the quest to find the bottom of the price barrel? How do you stay competitive in that space?
Well, I feel like you have to look at your clients and, look at and talk to your clients and understand, not everybody's going to be for you. Not every client is your client, your ideal client. How do you stay competitive? Me, I do my research. I look at what they're giving, what they're offering, and then I look at the price range, And for us, we decided that we did a lot of work for the last 8 months. We really did a lot of research, and we kind of wanted to test a little bit of the market of the solopreneurs and the mom and pops and the really small businesses, because a lot of them are not able to even qualify to get managed service providers to work with them because they're too small. My team, we did a lot of research with a lot of different companies, partnerships, with Microsoft, Dell, we use all types of software that allowed us to get like wholesale pricing that we were able to give people a good, what they called in the IT world, stack of different products that will help them, secure and support their users' device applications and their machines and email. We get a stack, and we were able to make a really competitive price with the stack as well. And in addition to, we hire seasoned technicians. So what would take a technician who is just kind of starting an hour to do a task, it can take us 15, 20 minutes. So that saves me on the time as well.
At one point in that space, I remember back in the old days, I was teaching the elderly how to use computers for the first time, and this is back when Windows 3.1 came out, and you had them play solitaire for hours just so they could, learn that they're not going to break the machine by dragging the mouse around. Right. So I know how much that seasoned tech kind of conversation makes sense, because you need to balance bringing people with you and helping them feel comfortable and all the stuff that comes with that. So it used to be back in the old days, and I think you can probably relate, the biggest obstacle to service delivery in the IT space was time. You spent so much time waiting for things like, oh yeah, I got to wait for this machine to reformat, or I got to wait for this or that and the other thing. How do you take advantage of things like downtime like that? What are you doing in your space during those moments where that comes up?
When we have a lot of downtime. I mean, honestly, with the tools that we're using, because we're in the cloud, I mean, so much is automated. I mean, literally I can hop on to our threat detection software, and I can look up a endpoint, a computer, and I can see the threats, or I can see the risks that's already enabled. I can get a list of everything that they need to enable on their machine. So it's really downtime. It's more of scheduling.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's more scheduling of, I found this, do you approve, that we do these changes remotely? You do not have to stop, or, we notify our clients and say, listen, this is the maintenance window. This is what we found. We're going to go ahead and push these updates. So it's the downtime with the technology. It's not downtime anymore per se. It's more, automation, so it gives you more time, so we can keep up. I mean, honestly, so if I'm going to say that it gives me more time, we spend more time, evaluating software, seeing what the trends are going to. They have this new thing out, like we do cyber risk assessments for our clients, but they have a new thing that's coming out where that can even be automated, so we want to keep up. So a lot of the times we're looking at the trends, we're seeing what's going on. And for me, getting out there, marketing and getting out there and reaching out to people and reaching out to clients and really working closely with my sales team.
Yeah. So you're always keeping it moving. That's great.
Have to.
Absolutely. So, Halima, I think a lot of folks don't, that are listening to this. A lot of our listeners are consultants and stuff like that, that may not have a long background in IT. But if you can tell us a little bit more about who you really like to target and work with, or maybe our network can help you find some more folks.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. So our ideal customer is someone who, number one, understands the value of investing in themselves. Number two, they understand the value of security and how important it is to have security. Not only that, if you're working with other people, if you're contracting with people, if you have employees, within your business, usually our top is about 1,000 employees. But we're probably mid-range between 500 and 250. Top is 1,000 usually the top end. So our ideal client is anybody from 0 to about 1,000, and people who understand that they, like I said, have to invest themselves, understand security, understand automation, understand how saving time and issuing processes and software and how that can help you. Allowing people to come who know what they're doing in that space to come and help you achieve the goals that you have for your business. So, that's usually our ideal client there.
So you hit on something that I think we have to talk about for just 30 seconds. How has the automation stuff relative to your marketing saved you time in marketing?
Oh my goodness. Tremendously. I mean, I'm looking at reports. That's what I'm doing. I'm not posting, I'm not sitting there, copy, paste, click, put the picture there, no one's doing that. I put it one time, it goes through all of them, and being able to, even with my CRM, being able to see what links they're clicking on, what they're interested in, being able to see in my CRM that they read my email, knowing that either when I should possibly follow up, it just saves you so much time and insight. Like, it's ridiculous. So for all the consultants that are listening I really advise you, if you're in that transitional phase where you're just too spread out and you don't have time, when you lose the ability to go network or the ability to really go and connect with people because you're doing too many of the back-end tasks, and especially when it comes to marketing, that's when you really need to look into doing a lot, consulting out or doing the automation.
Excellent advice. Thank you so much. And so folks that want to talk to you about how to get connected with you and all that, how should they go about that? You have email address or website, or what part of your automation do you want them to click on?
Okay. Yes. I'm very personal as well. So definitely all information is at VEMTECH.net. That's VEMTech.net. You on the bottom of there, you will find my Facebook, my Twitter, my LinkedIn. You can connect with me there. I'm on Instagram at VEMTech.net, spell the DOT. I'm also on Facebook. I'm on, every platform you can think of. You can find Halima Wanamaker or VEMTech there. DM me. You can email me at contact@vemtech.net. So you got the vemtech.net part, you can find me.
And you got to make sure you mention the Consulting Trap podcast so you get that big smile she's got on her face right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Halima, for coming on the show. Look forward to hearing more about your quest as it progresses.
Thank you so much, Brian, for inviting me. This has been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening to this episode of The Consulting Trap. If you have suggestions for future episodes or would like to be a guest on our show, please send me an email at brian@podcastchef.com. That's BRIAN at PODCASTCHEF.com. Before we go, we'd like to thank the sponsor of our show, Podcast Chef. Podcast Chef helps turn ordinary podcasting into a revenue-generating lead magnet for your consulting business. Our Podcasting Done For You service takes away the headache of starting up and running your own podcast. Reach out now to take advantage of our 30-day money-back guarantee. Visit us at podcastchef.com to find out how our team of experts can help you leverage podcasting to take your business to the next level.